Hey everyone, it's Delta. Welcome back to another episode of my Let's Play series called the Sky City. So today we're probably going to be working on our XP farm again, as well as the underground railway system, underwater system that we saw in the last episode. So it's a similar one that's going to carry on to episode. I've done a fair bit of work, which we'll go over there now, I guess. So I've done a bit of work in terms of I guess digging and getting towards the end of the actual mine shaft, which we'll show you quite now. So pop down, and we'll go down here. So from memory, the last episode showed this the really flat, I guess is the floor for now. I'm still digging it out. But what the other episode didn't show, I started working on some of the roof around here, so I'm started to fill in the parts that I said I was filling in. Let's get rid of this block. So instead of filling in the parts that were dirt, exposed dirt and whatnot, so just be like going along and filling in bits like this, which is good. And by the looks of it, it also stops the water droplets as well. I haven't fully tested it; those are quite annoying, coming down the particles. So that's pretty good. Anyway, so yeah, and I've also had a suggestion from one of my viewers that to slope the the sides. So I thought I would give it a go. So I've got a couple of examples here where I originally thought I would slope it from where the actual thing stops, so it would slope down like this, and it'd be a bit confusing because you have all these different angles, and you'd have to do it all really weird, and it'd look cool, I think, but it might look a bit over the top and all hectic and really kind of overwhelming. So I'm decided to go with a much more simplistic one. There's two versions of this as well, where you have the where the notch cuts out, so you'll have either it going along the very corners of the room, so nice square, or you'd have it wherever the actual sandstone stops and begins with the glass. As you can see here, we have like an edge, straight edge that goes down like that, and over here we have an edge that doesn't hit straight on the wall. Well, it's kind of hard to explain, but I decided to go with a bare bones, what you call it, just a rectangle, so a kind of a more straight, square, rectangle shape, not so flowing as much. I'd like to kind of, I don't know, keep this flowing inconsistency throughout my actual build itself. So I'll muck around a bit, and if you guys understood that, I'm kind of mumbling on a fair bit here. But anyway, so I'll muck around with these walls for a fair bit. But I'm definitely going for a sloped look. So I'll eventually be deciding on my actual look itself. So that's some good news as well. I started digging the tunnel, so we go down to level 40 on the Y, so we're at number 40 now, 40.6, and this tunnel is the start to my actual what's it called, the actual XP farm, all the way over in into the the underground and abandoned mine shaft. So it's going to be 3 wide, which is the main thing that's taken for ages. But I actually have dug out a two high by 1 wide trench or tunnel that goes all the way back, and just this, I think I broke it 4 pickaxes, maybe. I can't remember how many, but yeah, there's a fair bit, and a lot of resources just taken just out of this thing. Wasn't so much iron and redstone and whatnot, because I'm not at the appropriate level, but I still got some iron and whatnot, so we're still getting some resources at least. Turn F3 off. So this goes for a fair bit. This will eventually, like I said, be 3 by 3, so it's going to have some pretty cool stuff. And I may, we'll hook up an actual a cart system, and I want to add some, I want to implement some of my 3 by 3 doors if I can, if that's possible. Or have something else, I'm not too sure yet. So because of my 3 by 3 doors, it uses sand and gravity, and it's a bit difficult to implement with tracks and whatnot. But something will be added that makes it look pretty cool. And we're just running all the way back. And this goes all the way back. It's straightforward, it's not far. Going over the mountains and whatnot takes a fair bit longer than a straight decent walk. But I managed to hit it relatively accurately. I measured it out using coordinates and whatnot, so it didn't take too long of mucking around to find out. and we have simple chests and whatnot. And I'm still yet to decide on how I'm setting it up, because right now we walk down pretty much bang smack on the spawner, which is right here. I haven't done too much exploring, but from memory there's a fair bit of spawners throughout the whole thing, so I can either just ditch this one and have my base somewhere else, or not. So yeah, spawners here. I still have to clear all these fences and wood. I'm really lost for words this episode. So anyway, so I've been working on this a fair bit, just getting rid of the stuff like that, get a little nicks and knacks. So there's a fair bit of spider web, which I got all the string from. But yeah, so this will be a hollowed out eventually, and I'm thinking of making a my base come down on the left, because all the left's empty, so my base will be somewhere down there, and that way that the spiders can drop down or be funneled around and whatnot into the appropriate place without having too much. So I'm thinking of having it literally come straight down forward and into the side wall over here. I'll have a timed crusher setup. So my base will probably start somewhere dropping down here, have a nice kite system coming down, all nice and fancy and whatnot. So that's a fair bit of work. I'm not too familiar with crushing setups by using extended pulses and whatnot. I know the rough principles of having an extended pulse, but I don't know how many ticks and how many what he calls them and all the stuff like that I have to work out. So a lot of tutorials will be up ahead, and I guess that's pretty much it for a while. But yeah, so this thing will eventually be this tunnel will eventually be 3x3, and I'm not going to be doing anything extravagant with decoration. It's a lot of work to replace all this with something that I love, such as sandstone. So what I'm thinking of doing is just having it smooth stone and having some highlights maybe in the middle panels on each side, some bricks, so stone bricks and whatnot, something like that. Something similar to possibly Etho or Dockham's style. I don't want to do too much effort and say replace, like I said, all this with wood or sandstone. It would just take too long. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, so a lot of news, a lot of updates, and a lot of info coming out soon. So what I'll do now is I'll start working on the actual spawner itself, get that cleared out. I'm just going to go back and get some tools, get prepared, clean out my inventory, and be set and ready to actually start digging out and creating a XP farm. So I guess we'll catch you back when I'm back over the farm. So we are back. I actually dug it all out now, and I've got the appropriate spacing all set up and ready. I'm still working out the height and whatnot. I think it's the roof goes one space above it. I'm not too sure. But what I want to do is just test out the actual spawning rates on this, and yeah. So before I do that, I'll just explain to you why or how I got I guess the shape of it. So I've been told of watching a tutorial on it. I'll link the tutorial in the actual description itself. But say do a 3x3 setup. So this is actually 4, and that's 4. So what the spiders can spawn in an 8x8 radius. However, you can't have a mob spawner that's 1 block wide, centered in an 8x8 radius. So a side has to be lopsided, and to work that out, I've been told that using F3, you can walk towards the number for both X and Z, so looking at your coordinates, that goes down. So walking towards this corner, both my X and Z coordinates go down. So when I walk towards it, and if that's the case, when it goes down, that means you dig out that extra one wall on that side. So I just want to set some of these spawning rates with it now. So I still have to be within range, and I have to move the spiders apparently I think it's 16 blocks away from the spawner, which we'll work on soon. So I'm just going to get up here. I'll block this part off, and we'll go up a back entrance. I forgot to bring water with me, so hopefully there's enough water. Other than this sort of that I can grab and make an infinite water source with me. Hopefully it's going to be enough. And I guess I can turn the torch off if I can reach it. Nice and dark. And I'll turn F3 off. And I guess we'll just go up here and we will set it to easy. So it should be spawning. There we go. So that's 4 spiders now. I think it was 4, yeah. And you can get a maximum of 6, I think, from memory, I cannot remember. And they won't spawn anymore until they die, or until they get out of the radius of the 16 blocks of the spawner. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to transport the spiders out 16 blocks, so they will infinitely spawn, and then I will quickly set them up and kill them so we can get a nice spawning system going. I'm having glitches with my keyboard now. So what I'll do is I'm going to mark out the roof properly, and we will get it all set up. So it won't be long. Okay, so now it's all covered up. I made it all nice and pretty. Actually changed out some of the stone blocks and made them all cobblestone. We'll go down here. I think this is the way I get in. Yep, so now I've just made it all nice room. It's one lower than it needs to be, but it's fine. So what happens is they get pushed back into the stream down here, which then get pushed down into this bit water bit down here. I haven't measured out the distance yet, so it's still kind of iffy. There's a water stream that goes in here, and it comes into here. So what I'll be doing, I've also dug out this bit over here as well, which I'll show you. It's like a mini staircase. This will be properly all done up nicely. This will probably be dug further back, so it's going to probably start going down and have a little base pad, and then go off to the left. You'll then probably walk into a room over here. So you walk to your right. This will be enclosed, so you won't see any of this stuff. And then you'll be situated within this room over here. The spawner is just here, so we can break it. It's just there. We want it. Our player themselves wants to be close to the spawner, but we want to transport these spiders outside the range of the spawner so they can still spawn and whatnot. So hopefully, with me standing here, they should come around and go into there, and I should have then a killing mechanism right here, or further back even. And that way I can still stand in range of the spawner, and they'll be out. So yeah, so this will be probably all room dug out over here, just butting up against the actual spawner itself. So right here will be the end wall. This will be my spawner room, my XP farm room, like I said, and also probably be my enchantment room, or close to it, maybe across the hall even. So that way I can get it all. So now what I want to test is the spawning rate. I think I got rid of the rest. There's still a torch in there, a couple of torches. So I'm just going to get rid of these torches quickly, and then we'll test the spawning rates again. I just want to see if they actually wrap around this time and they will spawn unlimited time, so fingers crossed. And I didn't break anything else, so it should be now set if I've done everything right. So we'll have to wait a bit till they spawn. And hopefully they will wrap around. Probably should put glass in here so I can see. I'll just go get glass. And I heard some spiders then come down. Where's the glass? I already have it on me, so I went all that way for no reason. They've got spiders in there, which is pretty cool. And not doing its best thing. There's a lip there, which is them getting out. So I'll have to fix that still. It looks like they're coming in here. There's not spawning any more other ones, so I'm not sure why that's the go. There we go. So they're out of range, which is great. So I'm still in range, so which they're spawning, and they're out of range. So that's my test done. So I guess I can turn it off. Peaceful now. So what I want to do now, I guess, is start wrapping this water stream. This water stream will either come from the right or come from above, depending on how much I can fit in. It actually works quite well here, so I may just pretty this up, add some pistons. I may need to drop it from the ceiling because I want the pistons to go underneath it and whatnot. So the pistons will be all done. This hopefully will be pushed back a bit further, and a clear room should be able to be seen eventually. So hopefully I can get the piston set up all nice and done, and we can start working on the actual killing mechanism for it. So I thought I'd just give you a quick update. I have it now working. It took me a while to figure out a proper system to get them all into an appropriate location. I had to muck around with the water streams a fair bit inside here. The standard setup, for some reason, didn't work for me, and all the spiders were climbing up along the wall. I don't know what was wrong, so I had to use an elaborate sign setup and water setup, which I might show you eventually, to block them down. And then I've just made a little tunnel to come out here. Tunnels them in under these rails and puts them in up into the stack. It's not automated, however. I'll show you the wiring so far. So I've just got the first lot of wiring coming down from this lever, comes in over and powers the pistons over here, both the bottom and the top one. And then we have the other wiring, which is for the block off. So first of all, we block off the tube so no more spiders can come in. We then hit them 11 times, or just before they die, so with a 0.5 health. We then punch them and whatnot. Once the doors open, we hurt them, open it, punch them. Once they're all dead, we collect the items and then we unlock or unblock the tube, and they can come through again. So it's not automated in such that I can't press one button and it kills them and it hurts them and then blocks them off and whatnot. I'll eventually have that. I have to work out the wiring. I have to change my plans that I initially had. I'm thinking now that having my actual initial base up there, maybe a couple blocks up, so on the surface it would be about here, and you simply walk down a stairs into this room, because a lot of wiring for automation will need to go out here, which I originally planned for my base to be out this direction, so a lot of the wiring will be done out that direction over there. And so I wanted this to be dropped down in levels just so I could have all that space above the wiring for then a proper nice little base set up around here. So that's pretty good. And what's fantastic with these spiders, you get a lot of string, and I've been collecting some of the string and I'm making it into wool, so we can do that now. So the amount of string I've got from this is quite a fair bit, so we just do that, and now we've got 7 blocks of wool, and I just add them to the stack. And yeah, so probably can give you a quick rundown and demonstration how it works. Like I said, it's not automated, so I have to kind of guess roughly what time the spiders will either be nearly on their last health. Now normally it says to be hurt 11 times, so you can hear the them getting hurt like you can clearly hear the things being hurt 11 times. However, I find it that they've been hurt somewhere, I don't know, along the line, and if I hit them 11 times, half of them will die and half of them will stay alive on one point, or half of the health. So I normally hurt them to 10, and then I open the doors, and then I then kill them at that level. So enough rambling. We'll just wait for these last spiders to go through, and I think we've got roughly 32 spiders are in here, 31 spiders there, plus the ones coming through now. You can tell it using the entity. So the E, so it goes Minecraft CEP. The E one, the 33 at the start, 34 now stands for the current entities in frame, slash the current entities overall in the game. So 35 is the number. So block that off. It's a bit hard to hear. Turn the sound up a bit. The spiders will be overrunning my mic, so I may not talk for a bit. So yeah, we'll just quickly bump it up now. So that now blocks that off. We then now hurt him 10 or 11 times, depending on how you like it. So I'll hurt him 10 this time. So that's 10, and a couple died already. So now it's 10, we can now jump up here. We hit him with our fist, and a lot of them will die. So turn the volume down a bit so you can hear me again. So most of these will have either 1 or 2 hit kills, punches. It doesn't matter so much to me that they don't die straight away. I will then eventually probably fix this setup so they don't get hurt along the way somewhere or drown along the way. Proper tube system coming through, proper time mechanism and whatnot, but for now this is working perfectly in the sense that I'm able to kill a whole bunch of the spiders. We go in here, let me grab all my XP and all my wool and whatnot, and I'm just going to feed myself because I'm now dying of the hunger from all the killing. Oops. So we got some XP. There's a couple levels that one because of I'm now ranked 20 or 30 now. 39, no 29, sorry. So it scales up a bit. So now that we've done that, we can now open up the tube again and let them through. So they don't bunch up properly, which still have to work out and muck around with some settings. But they all seem to bunch up there until they get stuck up the top. So once they all get stuck up together, like you saw before, like now they're stuck up now, they all come through. Then for some reason, for a couple seconds before they get stuck, they all bunch up, and that's where I think they're drowning in here. But anyway, so we'll just turn off back into peaceful, and so we can bump us down back up. So now we, like I said, we have like a fair bit of levels now, and we've got some string even from that. Perfect for wool, which is now a rare thing, not to be rare soon with the regrowable wool and sheep, but still rare enough for me to want to collect like this. So for now, this is going to be the setup I will be using until I work out and muck around with some different setups. I may download some of the world downloads available for Etho and DocM so I can just see how the setups completely work properly, and look at some more tutorials. I looked at some, and you have to custom build it towards your setup, and which is a bit difficult in this case. So I'll eventually have a proper working setup that I'll probably do offside camera, but for now the basic structure is as following, and I will do a video on how I've done it so far in the video. So I guess we will probably start going back towards my other base now. I've got some rails now. I've been collecting them around the base, just around the underground or the abandoned mine shaft. We can get rid of all this, and I've got a lot of iron. Just a lot for me, maybe not for some people, but for a lot for me. Just from this base around here, I brought, I think, half stack to a stack with me. I used a fair bit for pistons, all my shovels, my pickaxes, my iron bars. I bought a whole bunch, and now I've just collected a stack and a half over the time. So it's quite good, quite handy. So yeah, so sort of a cut, and we'll come back to the other base. Okay, we are back in my home base, my lovely base. What I've done is actually made a simple enchanting room. I think this is right. I thought that the books could only be enchanted from 2 high and not 3 high, so I just made a little 2 by 2. I'm not sure if these are even needed or if I should put one here as well and have an alternate way of getting in, but it works fine as is. Now I've got a diamond pickaxe, and it's only been used once to mine the obsidian for this, and that's it. So we've got level 30, and I'm going to try going for level 30. Let's see if I can get it bang on level 30. I saw them before. There we go. So we'll click on it and see what we get. So efficiency 3. So that was my first ever enchanting. Woo! So efficiency 3, so that's all my levels gone now, just in one swift hit. Let's see how this goes. So efficiency 3, I cannot remember exactly what it does. I probably should be looking this up instead of just guessing, I guess. But yeah, so efficiency, I guess, would just be either it runs faster or it lasts longer. But yeah, so now with the help of enchanting, I shall get my both my this area done, and also my underground rower done eventually. So I guess this is pretty much going to be it for the episode. It's going to be again more focused on the rower. I still have much more to go on it, but I may for the next episode give it a skip and we'll work on something fresh and new. But yeah, we'll come back to it. Sorry about that. We'll come back to it and have some more videos on this area itself. A lot of it has to be done by off video and by hand, just by excavating all this area and whatnot. So it shouldn't be very long to go. So maybe in the next couple episodes you'll see some updates of this area. That's about it. So I guess I should find out some more and some bigger plans for my other areas so we can start working on those and get on to more videos. So thanks for watching. It's been good for now. Can't wait till the next episode, and I know we have some plans, especially with the grand haul that we're going to be working on. So yep. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next episode. Dals are out. Bye.